Welcome back to Webslesson. This is part 5 of our Laravel 13 and Filament 5 Inventory Management System series. Now, before we start, let me quickly recap what we did in the previous part. In part 4, we built our very first filament resource, which was the category management module. There, we got full create, read, update, and delete functionality, parent and child subcategory support, and a working status toggle. So that module is now fully working, and it taught us the complete Filament 5 pattern that we are going to reuse again and again in this series. Now, in this part, we are going to build a new module using that exact same pattern. We are going to build the unit management module. This module is simpler than category, since units do not need any parent or child relationship. So this is a great part to practice the same workflow, while learning it a little faster this time. Alright, let's get started. In this part, we will create a filament resource for our units table. Now, units are things like piece, kilogram, box, and liter. Here is why this table matters. Every single product in our inventory management system will be linked to one of these units. So this table might look small, but it plays a very important role in our project. Next, we will build a simple form with just two fields, name and short code. After that, we will build a table that lists all units, along with a count of how many products are using each unit. Finally, we will add edit, delete, and bulk delete actions, exactly like we did for categories. So let's start by generating the resource using an artisan command. Open your terminal and run the make filament resource command, followed by the word unit and the generate flag. Once this command runs, it creates the unit resource file, along with the schemas folder, the tables folder, and the pages folder, exactly the same structure we saw in part 4. Because of that, since we already understand this structure from the previous part, this time it will feel very familiar. Now let's open the unit model file inside the app models folder. Here, we set the fillable fields as name and short code. These are the only two fields our units table needs. Next, we define a products relationship, which returns has many product. This relationship is what will let us count how many products are using each unit directly inside our table later. Now let's open the main unit resource file. At the top of the file, we write our namespace, and then we import everything we need. First, we import our create unit, edit unit, and list units page classes. Next, we import our unit form and units table classes. Then, we import the unit model. After that, we import back enum and unit enum, since Filament 5 requires these exact types for navigation properties. Finally, we import the base resource class, the schema class, and the table class. Now, inside the class, we set the model property to unit. Next, we set the navigation icon using a simple string, heroicon o scale, which looks like a weighing scale icon, a perfect match for a units module. After that, we set the navigation group to master data, so this resource groups together with our categories resource. Then, we set the navigation label to units. Here is something important. We set the navigation sort to 2. Because of that, since categories already uses sort number 1, setting units to 2 makes sure units always appears right below categories inside the master data group. Next, we set the record title attribute to name, which Filament uses internally for search results and breadcrumbs. Now, inside the form method, we simply return our unit form class. Then, inside the table method, we simply return our units table class. Finally, inside get pages, we register our index, create, and edit routes exactly like we did for categories. Now let's move to our form file inside the schemas folder. This file is where we control every field that appears when someone creates or edits a unit. So, we start by wrapping our fields inside a section component, and we label it unit information. Here, this section gives our form a clean card style layout with a heading on top, instead of just floating fields on the page. Next, inside this section, we add our first field, a text input for unit name. At this step, we chain the label method onto it and set the label to unit name so it displays nicely above the field. Then, we add a helpful placeholder like piece, kilogram, or box so users understand exactly what kind of value to type here. After that, we mark this field as required using the required method so the form cannot be submitted without a name. We also set a max length of 255 characters, which matches the string column we defined back in our migration. Now, we move to our second field, a text input for short code. Here too, we add a placeholder like PCs, kg, or box to guide the user. Next, we mark this field as required as well. Then, we set the max length to 20 characters since short codes are always small values. After that, we chain the unique method onto this field and point it to the unit model and the short code column. Because of that, Filament will now check the database and make sure no two units ever share the same short code. We also pass ignore record true, so this unique check does not block us when we are simply editing the same unit again. Now, here is a nice touch we are adding in this part. We make this field live using the live method so it can react instantly as the user types. Once this is ready, we chain an afterStateUpdated callback onto it. Inside this callback, we take whatever the user typed and we convert it into uppercase letters using Laravel's strupper helper. Then, we set that uppercase value straight back into the short code field. So, this means if someone types kg in lowercase, it automatically becomes kg in uppercase, right as they type, keeping our data clean and consistent. Finally, we add a helper text below this field, explaining that this short code will be shown next to product quantities later in the system. And that completes our entire form, just 2 fields, but with a nice touch of automatic formatting built in. Now let's move to our table file inside the tables folder. This file controls everything we see on the list page, every column, every action, every sort order. So, we start with our first column, which shows the unit name. Here, we chain the label method to set a friendly column heading, then we make it searchable and also sortable. Because of that, users will be able to click the column heading to sort units alphabetically or type into the search box to instantly filter the list. Next, we add our second column, which shows the short code. This time, instead of showing it as plain text, we chain the badge method onto it. After that, we set its color to info, which gives it a nice blue pill-shaped background. So now, every short code stands out clearly in the table, instead of blending in with the rest of the text. Now, we move to our third column, and this one is a very useful one. It shows products using this unit. Here, we use the counts method, and we pass in our product's relationship name. Once this is ready, Filament automatically runs a count query in the background and shows exactly how many products are linked to each unit. Then, we also chain the badge method here and set a different color, success green this time, so it looks visually different from the short code badge. This column becomes very useful later, since it instantly tells us if a unit is actually being used anywhere in our system or if it is completely safe to delete. Next, we add a fourth column for created at. Here, we format it as a date using the MY format, and we make it toggleable and hidden by default. So, this column stays out of the way for most users, but anyone can still turn it on using the column toggle button if they need it. Now, notice something important. We are not adding any filters in this table. That is because units is a very simple flat list with no status field and no category, so filters are not really needed here. Finally, once all our columns are defined, our table is complete and ready to display real data. Next, we add our row actions, which are edit and delete, exactly the same pattern as before. After that, we also add a bulk action group with delete bulk action inside it, so multiple units can be selected and deleted together. Finally, we set the default sort order to show the newest units first. Now let's quickly set up our 3-page files. First, the Create Unit page saves a new unit and redirects back to the list page with a success notification. Next, the Edit Unit page updates an existing unit and includes a delete action in its header. Then, the List Units page displays our table and includes a Create button labeled New Unit in its header. So, these 3 files follow the exact same pattern we used for categories. There is really nothing new to learn here, just practice. Now let's test everything in the browser. Open your browser and visit the admin panel. In the sidebar, under Master Data, you will now see 2 links, categories and right below it, units. Click on units and you will see an empty table ready for our first entry. Next, click the New Unit button. Type Ps in the name field and type PCs in the short code field. Here, watch how the short code automatically converts to uppercase as you move to the next field. Once you click Save, you will see a success notification. So, let's quickly add a few more units: kilogram with short code kg, box with short code box, and liter with short code LTR. Now, go back to the list page and you will see all 4 units listed, each with their badge-colored short code. Notice the products using this unit column currently shows 0 for all of them, since we have not created any products yet. That number will automatically update once we start creating products in the coming parts. Next, try the search box and search for kilogram to see the table filter instantly. Then, try selecting a few units using the checkboxes and use the bulk delete action to remove them together. So, everything is working exactly as expected. This completes part 5 of our Laravel 13 and Filament 5 Inventory Management System series. Our master data group now has 2 working modules, categories and units, both with full create, read, update, and delete functionality. Now, in the next part, part 6, we will build the supplier management module. This time we will work with more fields like email, phone, and address, and we will also bring back table filters since we will filter suppliers by their active status. If you found this video helpful, please like this video and subscribe to Webslesson. The link to part 6 will be in the description below. I will see you in the next video.